Hello, and welcome to the Legal Aid of West Virginia Kinship Benefit video series. Today, we're going to be talking about what benefits are available to caregivers working with temporary care agreements. This video should help anyone who has or is considering a temporary care agreement. If you already have a temporary care agreement, it is important to know what benefits are available to assist you in caring for the child or children. If you already are receiving public benefits, it is important to know how those benefits might be affected by setting up a temporary care agreement. When we talk about public benefits, we're referring to programs such as food stamps, West Virginia Medicaid, TANF, also known as West Virginia Works, Social Security and Disability, as well as the tax consequences. Before we get into the actual benefits, it is important to know what exactly a temporary care agreement is. A temporary care agreement is a document that gives a person the authority to care for a minor child who is not their birth child. Most often, this comes up in the context of a parent who's just simply unable to provide care for the child. For example, if the parent is in a recovery program, incarcerated, or is just simply absent. It does not require going to court, and it can be easily revoked by either party. Getting into the specific benefits, West Virginia Works, which is also known as TANF, or Temporary Aid for Needy Families, is primarily cash assistance that is provided by the Department of Health and Human Resources, also known as DHHR. It's provided to people who are caring mainly for relative children. In this context, it means that the child must be related to the caregiver by blood or marriage. West Virginia Works is available to kinship caregivers regardless of their income, so long as the child is living with the caregiver and the biological parents are not. Even if you do not have a temporary care agreement, you're probably still eligible for assistance through West Virginia Works. West Virginia Works covers a wide variety of assistance to help care for the child or the children. Depending on the child's needs, West Virginia Works can provide a cash assistance check, health insurance, school clothing voucher, child care assistance through West Virginia Mountain Heart, and referrals to legal aid. It can even help pay for extracurricular activities such as sports or clubs for the children. In order to receive West Virginia Works, the first step is to apply through your local DHHR office or at wvpath.wv.gov. The link will be provided later on in the slides. Caregivers are eligible for assistance, again, so long as the child is related to you by blood or marriage, living in your home, and the biological parents are not there. And this is true regardless of whether or not there's a formal care arrangement in place. Additionally, there's no maximum time for the caregiver to receive these benefits. They will continue so long as the child remains in your care and you continue to work with DHHR. However, if your situation changes, so can your eligibility. For instance, if you adopt the child, you're no longer a kinship caregiver, but you're the actual parent. In that case, you would have to go through West Virginia Works' normal eligibility checks. Food stamps, or SNAP benefits, is a benefit that is available to kinship caregivers based on the household income and the household size. When the children come into and leave care, the eligibility for SNAP benefits will also change. SNAP benefits are managed through DHHR and are available regardless of whether the parent is still living with the child in the caregiver's home. The general rule for claiming a child as a dependent is that the child has to live in the caregiver's home and receive the majority of their support from the caregiver for 6 months of that year. However, we're lawyers. We're not accountants, and we strongly recommend that any caregiver concerned about the tax consequences consult with an accountant or a tax professional to ensure that you receive the maximum benefit. Caregivers should be aware that who and what they claim on their taxes can impact eligibility for their own earned income tax credit, as well as child tax credits and dependent care credits. Additionally, some forms of assistance that you receive from the state for the child care are not considered income and therefore are not taxed. Again, check with a tax professional to make sure that you're filing properly. Children in care are eligible for Social Security or disability benefits, either directly or through a parent who has passed away. One thing to note is that if you're looking for Social Security benefits, a temporary care agreement might not be the best option, as it's not a formal legal relationship between the caregiver and the child. Something like a guardianship or adoption might be a better choice. West Virginia CHIP is not Medicaid. It is a health insurance coverage that has more limited coverage than Medicaid, and as such, you might be ineligible for certain benefits such as non-emergency medical transportation. Once eligible and enrolled in West Virginia CHIP, that staff will notify the payee of the coverage specifics. It's important to note that a child cannot have private insurance and West Virginia CHIP in the same month. It is also important to note that the benefits that caregivers are seeking that we discussed, such as TANF and tax credits, often means that the biological parents can no longer claim those credits. So any benefit that a caregiver attempts to set up could have an impact on the biological parents. Furthermore, DHHR might seek child support from the parents while the state is assisting the kinship caregivers. So it is important to make sure that the benefits are not going to both the biological parents and the kinship caregivers. We do hope that this video has been helpful if you're considering your options regarding a temporary care agreement. Thank you and have a great day.